Welcome to the wilderness, South Florida fans. This is Omar Kelly, Miami Herald columnist, covering the Miami Dolphins. And I call this the wilderness because we are in the month-long period where you do not get any NFL practice, any NFL news, any NFL mini camps, any NFL transactions. Teams have adjourned, have dismissed their players. They will not return until rookies, I believe, report about the 15th of July. The veterans report the 22nd of July. It'll be interesting once camp ratchets up. But until then, we are in the wilderness. And during that time, we will continue to have one episode a week of Dolphins in Depth, a podcast provided to you by the Miami Herald. On this week's episode, we will discuss the 5 reasons that we think the Dolphins can have a successful season. We will also follow that up by 5 reasons we think that the season in 2025 can be a disaster. Joining me right now is Isaiah Smalls, Miami Herald Dolphins beat reporter, who wrapped up his illustrious rookie season last year. He's going to be a sophomore this year. We will not haze him anymore. But he's not finished being a rookie yet because he has not completed all of training camp. You must follow through with a complete training camp, which is upcoming. Isaiah, based on what we've seen from the Dolphins this offseason, and I wrote a piece in the Miami Herald basically giving my wrap-up of what happened in the offseason. And the number one thing that I picked up was Steve Ross put away his wallet and basically forced the Miami Dolphins to say, you know when your mom say you got food at home?
Yeah. Yeah.
You asked your mom for some McDonald's or some fast food, and your mom said, you got food at home. Ross told Chris Greer and Mike McDaniels, you got food at home, figure it out. And we had a very conservative for Miami Dolphins spending in the offseason. It was really James Daniels and a bunch of guys on very small minimum-esque contracts. Get in where you fit in was the budget. And Miami Dolphins really had a conservative, even when you talk about Nick Westbrook Akine, you talk about Ife Melifonwu, you talk about Ashton Davis, those were not big deals. Even the signing of Terrell Dodson, not a big deal. Now, with that said, Isaiah, how much do you think there's going to be a talent drop-off from 2024 to 2025?
I mean, you can just survey the positions, right? Look at cornerback. Obviously, a talent drop-off. I think it goes position by position. I think the offensive line definitely I think it remains to be seen on the offensive line, right? It's a big question mark there. Look at the linebacker core, kind of similar, kind of standard pat. Right?
Actually, there might be additions because you got Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb coming back from injury.
I'm thinking inside linebacker first.
Inside linebacker. Okay.
Outside linebacker, definitely a upgrade for sure. At the interior, obviously Zach Sealer's back. You hope that Kenneth Grant will be an upgrade over Benito Jones. So let's just say, yeah, for now, it's still a little bit of a question mark.
Hold on. Kenneth Grant is not replacing Benito Jones. Kenneth Grant is replacing Calais Campbell, sir. Which is Benito Jones still here. He's still going to serve.
No. I mean, but from a because isn't Kenneth Grant a nose tackle? Correct? Are we not in agreement?
He's a nose tackle. I'm not sure he's going to be playing nose tackle for the Miami Dolphins.
Well, there we go. We'll see. Then that's the point of contention, I guess. I think he should be, but if you think not, if you don't,
nose tackles don't really play though. Nose tackles are first and second down players primarily. Benito Jones might have played 400, 300 snaps last season.
But judging off of what the Dolphins said, they think that he's one of those guys who can also affect the pass rush as well. You start him those first couple downs, have him, collapse those running lanes, and then you try him out, on those third, maybe fourth down, see what he can do. And I'm just judging based off of what they've told us, correct? I think
Actually, Benito Jones played 481 snaps last season, but I do envision Benito Jones still continuing his role as a starting nose tackle. And then I think he's going to be backed up by Biggers, Zeke Biggers. And I think Kenneth Grant and Jordan Phillips are going to sort of spread the wealth in terms of serving as Calais Campbell's replacement and then Zach Sealer's backup.
Okay. Look. So overall, I think there is a bit of a talent drop off. There's premium positions that I think, specifically at that boundary corner position, that I think is a significant drop off.
So you're dropping off talent at cornerback. That's
for sure.
Universally. Sure. Now, what about if Tyreek Hill can do what he says he can do, which is sell Jalen Ramsey to come back to the organization and sell the organization to welcome Jalen Ramsey back?
I mean, look, if Tyreek Hill is a miracle worker, if he can perform miracles, if he does this, next thing I'm asking, first day of training camp, I'm asking him to turn water into wine. So he got some special powers that I don't think we were privy to.
Hold on, wait a minute. That's just a massaging of egos and making grown men sit in a room and talk it out.
I mean, look, I just would be surprised, honestly, because because in my head, this is how the conversation went between Jalen Ramsey and Mike McDaniel. This is purely.
Oh, I'm dying to hear this.
This is purely speculation. Hey, this is Mike McDaniel first. Hey, Jalen, we're gonna need you for mini camp. Ha! It's over. That's it.
I ain't coming.
I ain't coming. All right, then I think we need to move you. Boom. Story over, right? So I think if Tyreek is able to get them to sit down, right, in the same room. I'm not talking about a phone call. I don't think it's going to be solved on a phone call. They're going to have to sit face to face, man to man. But then there's going to be certain things.
That's how you handle grown man business.
I agree. Certain things that I think Jalen Ramsey would have to concede that he might not be willing to, right? I think the biggest one, maybe. I mean, look. I think when you're at a player of Jalen Ramsey's caliber, you get there from having your own process, right? I don't think that something as simple as like, look, we need you to come out to practice on time, be the first guy there. That I think because when you think about his process, right? That's part of it. The treatment, the stretching inside, that's part of his process. Okay. And so if you've gotten this far doing your process, I don't know if what is this? This is a fourth year head coach is gonna make me change my process. I just doubt that. I doubt that.
I think this has more to do with Jalen Ramsey not wanting to do his own thing. Because I think if you tell him show up for practice 20 minutes earlier, it is what it is. It's whatever. That's the thing that I don't understand about Dolphin fans. We're very short-sighted. Jalen Ramsey worked his way to come back from a serious knee injury at mid-season. How many months? Was it 3-4 months after suffering the injury? Yeah. That clearly shows you that he's a worker. He was the only defensive player that participated in every single practice last year. That has been verified by me. So it's not a matter of he doesn't want to work. And that's playing through a knee issue, which Jalen had.
Yeah.
This is more along the lines of, in my mind, Jalen has a family. He's got kids. He's not with the mother. He wants to spend time with his kids. His kids live in Los Angeles. You have my services from July till January. Bingo. My family has my services from January to July. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, I'll be doing the things that get me ready and committed for football. And like I've shown you the last 9 seasons, I'll be ready. Now, if you cannot understand, tolerate, accept, respect that, then that's a you problem, in my opinion. Now, obviously, I understand where Mike is coming from, where you are responsible for setting this culture. Now, I tried to set the culture last year. I said we wasn't going to be a bunch of, and we were a bunch of, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's not on me,
That's real.
that's on the culture that you created. So I can see both sides of the coin. Now, can Tyreek, of all people, hammer out a resolution? Hold on, wait a minute. You doubting Tyreek's negotiating skills?
I'm not doubting his negotiating skills. I don't know, man. If you're telling me Zach Sealer's the guy to try to go make it work, oh, I have faith. I have faith that something's gonna get done.
Hold on. Who do you think?
If you're telling me Tua's the guy,
who do you think can communicate better with Jalen Ramsey, Zach Sealer or Tyreek Hill?
I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Listen,
I know, I get it. I get what you're saying. I'm thinking more so. Okay. Still out of the way.
Here's my thing. Here's my thought process on this.
Go.
Jalen Ramsey's a mercenary. There are individuals in the NFL that are mercenaries. They are hired guns, hired assassins. Mm-hmm. They are up for hire. Whenever, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to do business with a mercenary, which we have done business with mercenaries from time to time as Dolphins fans, and Dominican Sue being the last one, you know what comes with it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tyreek Hill is a mercenary. If you want to do business with mercenaries, you know what comes with it. Yeah. So don't get mad when the terms of a mercenary aren't to your liking.
That's real.
You chose to do business.
That's a good point. I mean, that's a good point. I don't know. Something about Tyreek being the one to go negotiate. I just don't have faith in it. I don't know why. It's my gut. That's my gut. That's a gut feeling right there. I just don't think he's going to be the one to negotiate it. I don't know. And what was interesting though about the competition, I didn't realize they were drafted the same year. That's when Tyreek mentioned that, I was like, dang, like that's kind of wild. I don't know why I didn't put two and two together.
So was Xavier Howard, who I continue to say, hey, you ain't got no other options. Like, you go ahead and name me a better option that you would decide.
Look, I don't think there's one out there. So yeah, I feel you.
Like, at some point, everybody got to have a come to Jesus moment where we have to sit down and we have to talk about things and talk about our issues. I'm sorry. If you think that Xavier Howard and Storm Duck are on the same wavelength, even Xavier Howard sitting out a year, you're quite delusional. No disrespect to Storm Duck. Xavier Howard has forgotten more about the NFL than Storm Duck even knows. That's just my personal take. Am I telling a lie?
No, I mean, like, you're talking about a veteran who's been in the league years versus an undrafted guy going into his second year. I mean, you're right. I didn't think I didn't think it was that. I'll be serious. You think Xavier doesn't know? He's forgotten more football than Cam Smith knows. Like, now whether he's in shape, I know he's training. That's whether the Dolphins want to say, hey, Xavier. The deal that what's your homeboy that just signed with the Baltimore Ravens? Jair Alexander.
Well, hey, the deal, Jair Alexander. You interested in it? $4 million with a little bit of incentive in base.
Yeah, that's real.
Listen, if you want to save your job, these are the options that you have available to you.
I agree.
Now, I can promise you these cornerbacks are going to get you fired.
Yeah.
That's on you.
No, that's you're being completely correct. This quarterback room will
on you. What you want to do? You make that decision for you.
That's real. That's real. It definitely looks like they didn't try. Like
they didn't.
To be honest, it looks like they didn't.
They didn't.
Like just the names. I mean, look,
they didn't. I mean, I don't know. We were told we're going to do something. They haven't done anything.
I'm still waiting.
Maybe they're still waiting. I don't know what they're still waiting for.
Yeah. What are they waiting for?
I know what's out there, and I'm like, nothing out there is going to save your season. Stephon Gilmore ain't going to come here and put on a cape. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I'd probably rather Xavier Howard over Stephon Gilmore. Just me personally.
Okay. Okay.
Now if you want to get me Xavier Howard and Stephon Gilmore, hey, we could talk. But
Look, better than the alternative for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we'll figure that out. But that's not what this episode is about. This episode is about the 5 things that, in my opinion, can get the Dolphins to a successful season. Now, I am not going to make the terms. We can define successful season however you want to.
Yeah.
Playoffs, winning record, 12 wins, AFC East champions. I don't know what that definition is, and I think that that's for everybody else. Mm-hmm. What I know from my perspective as somebody who's covered the Dolphins since 2007, a successful season is a season that will prevent Steve Ross from firing everybody. That's my definition of a successful season. So that means, 1, you have to produce a winning record. 2, let's get to double digits of that winning record. I don't think it's realistic for you to dethrone the Buffalo Bills and win the AFC East unless something happens to Josh Allen, because Josh Allen is your daddy. He pays child support. He will visit your kids whenever he feels like it. That's just the reality of where you are in this division. Let's not be naive about it. You had your chance in 2023. You didn't take care of business. It is what it is. And this roster, in my opinion, does not have the talent to challenge the Buffalo Bills. But I would say that a successful season is at least 10 wins and a playoff berth. Now, if you need a playoff win, I can't promise that to you.
Might be barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah. I can't promise you don't get a playoff win. Everybody, everybody is going to be fired. Everybody say, I don't know. But for me, in order for this team to have a successful season, which is, again, double-digit wins and a playoff berth, for me, it starts with strong O-line play. Now, I was handling some questions on Twitter from fans, and a fan told me, hey, have you seen the Tom Brady clip of Tom Brady talking about how he doesn't know a successful team without a forceful offensive line? And I said, no, please share that with me. And he did share that with me. And I said, man, Tom Brady, it was so elegant and articulate. Talking about offensive line, you got to own the line of scrimmage. You got to be able to dictate the terms for the running lanes. You got to be able to protect the quarterback in these pressure situations. And then he started talking about how Bill Belichick, in all the years that he covered him, Bill Belichick's demeanor, mindset, attitude, coaching strategy, philosophy changes when he knew he was going up against an offense with a good offensive line. And I said, I nearly caught the Holy Ghost, because I was just like, hallelujah. I have been preaching this to this organization since 2007. And I point out the only times in franchise history you have made it to the playoffs happened to be the year that, you had a good offensive line. You actually had good play from your offensive line. Look at that. Wowzer. What a surprise. 2008, 2016, 2023. 3 years. You've had good offensive line play. How about you make that a priority? Now, clearly, it is what it is. We've got 3 new starters on this offensive line in James Daniel, Patrick Paul, and Jonah Savinaya. Did I get it?
Yeah, that was actually bad. Congratulations. Hey, look, hopefully all the fans are clapping up right now, because that name has been kicking your ass. The same way Josh Allen owns the Dolphins, that's the way that name has been owning you. For real.
Savinaya. See, look, I've been working on it.
That's real. Good for you. Good for you. You're putting in that reps, man.
All right. So we'll see what happens. I don't like the depth of the offensive line, but I think if you have a healthy offensive line and Patrick Paul is who we think he is, or is who the franchise thinks he is, and Austin Jackson actually comes back and is forceful, because that run game, that thing disappeared when Austin Jackson was gone. It was out the door. I think you have a good chance. Now, piggybacking on that, I think like you'd had in 2023, you need a 2,300-yard rushing attack. You need a rushing game.
You're going the entire thing. I thought we were going 1 for 1. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me just hit mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
2,300 rushing yards. Mm-hmm. Now, I'll negotiate. I'll compromise. I'll give you 2,100 rushing yards. You just have to get to the point where you have balance, and you can dictate the terms. Now, I didn't necessarily say you need to be able to convert 3rd and short, 4th and short, because that still continues to be an issue. I don't know if we have a solution there or if there's a recipe there. We'll see as the season progresses. But be able to keep teams off balance. Now, my third component, which gets us to a productive winning season for the Miami Dolphins, is a healthy Tua. I'm not going to say 17 games, but give me at least 14 games. Healthy, not playing through something, just healthy. And I think that begins with protection. We've seen Tua as a very efficient quarterback, the only quarterback in the NFL with 3 straight 100 passer yard seasons, 100 passer rating seasons. He's shown you he's an efficient quarterback. As Teron Armstead said on one of his many network hits, Tua knows we're a completely different team when he's not on the field. He understands the priority should be keep myself available to my teammates. And I think that Tua does know that. Now, the question is, can they protect him effectively? And then we get to my fourth component, which is pass rushing. Last year, all they had was Chubb and Sealer and Calais.
They didn't have Chubb last year.
Huh? No, sorry. I'm sorry. Chop. No. Not Chubb, Chop, who I thought had an okay season. He wasn't tearing it up. Let's not be in denial here. Chop does have the talent to be a double-digit sack guy. How they're going to find snaps for him, I would love to see a package where Jalen, Sealer, Chop, and Chubb are on the field together. I think that's not out of the realm of possibilities, especially when you have Chop playing an elephant role moving around. When you go through Chop, Chubb, Phillips, and Sealer, they all have the potential to be 10 double-digit sack guys. So the question is, can they stay healthy, and can they all work together in unison? Health is obviously going to be a huge factor. And then turnovers, which has been for my fifth point, a big point of emphasis for Anthony Weaver. We've actually seen turnovers in practice, which I don't know what to tell you to think about it. I really don't, because I don't know. It's coming from the backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how good they are. Like now, but these quarterbacks and these safeties have come down with some turnovers, and it'll be interesting to see if this defense takes a different approach in order to pressure quarterbacks to force them into turnovers, because you can't play these coverages that you played over the years with Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howell, where you just let, you rush 4 and try to figure out how to do it. So it'll be interesting to see what is the right approach for this defense. Now, Isaiah, what is your 4 components or factors that will lead to a successful Dolphin season in your opinion?
So I kind of took a different approach. I kind of defined this as like things that we know that are 100% concrete right now. And so let's just start with the obvious. Tyreek Hill and Waddle. They have one of the best receiving duos in the league, right? As it stands now, obviously Tua is healthy. As long as he's healthy, he can get those to the ball. Hopefully we'll see some big plays open up. But when you have 2 of the best receivers, one of the best receiving duos in the league, I mean, I think the world is truly your oyster, especially when you have an offensive dynamo at the head coach position like McDaniel. Second thing, let's obviously you mentioned the rushing attack. Let's talk specifically Devon Achane, right? Devon Achane was one of the most productive pass catchers out of the backfield last year. So now not only is there him, right? We have Ollie Gordon II, right? Alexander Madison can hopefully help in the short yardage gain, and then a better looking Jalen Wright. You know what I'm saying? He added 6 pounds of muscle. He looked a little bit quicker out there. So hopefully that stable of running backs can be a difference maker, right? Third thing, let's move on to the defense side of the ball. The pass rush, as you mentioned, right? I mean, when you think about Jalen, Chubb on the edge, interior you got Sealer and Grant. I mean, to me, that has the opportunity to be the calling card of this, not only the team, but not only the defense, but the team itself, right? You mentioned the quote that Bill Belichick had, right? Where, if he knows you have a good offensive line, like he's going to change up. I think the same is true if you have a good defensive line, right? If you have a good defensive line and a good pass rush, you're going to have to slide protection one way and just try to manipulate the pocket to your advantage, right? Now, number 4, year 2 of Weaver, right? I don't think that can be understated enough, right? Weaver put together a top 10 defense last year with very clear deficiencies, specifically at the edge rusher position, and then on the back end at the safety position. There will be similar glaring holes this year, specifically at the corner position, as assuming it doesn't get solved. To see what he will be able to do, we saw a few things with the pressure they were bringing. Hopefully, he will be able to hide the deficiencies at corner, doing some things there. And
you should really write that.
That's the story I'm writing today.
Gotcha,
sir.
Wait a minute. I didn't even think about that. Wait a minute. Go ahead. All right, you go ahead, young buck.
You know what I'm saying? The sophomore cut came to play a little bit today. And the fifth thing,
we put you in the game, we can get 16 points.
The fifth and final thing, and I don't think that this can be stated enough, I think it's doubt, man. I think as athletes, sometimes you need motivation, right? And I think doubt is a good thing. People don't think this team is going to be good. People are doubting this team.
Hold on. So you rather have doubt than confidence?
I think both are great. Both are great because sometimes I think you can win. If people are doubting you, you can find a different reason to get motivated every week, right? If people are like, oh, this team, like Tua's not going to be healthy. I think specifically Tua is looking at surveying the field, right? People have talked a lot about him, right? People have this year. Teron Armstead talked a lot about this. He realized now how important he is to this team, right? Like, and now people are still hating on him. Like you and I see it a lot, specifically on Twitter. People do not like Tua, right? There's fans that love him, but there's a lot of fans that don't like him. They do not see him as good, right? And I think knowing that this is a make or break year, not just for him, but I think for McDaniel, for Greer, it kind of allows you to play a little bit free, right? Of course, confidence is good, but
I would disagree with you. I think it makes you tighten up a little bit.
Look, man.
If I start to feel pressure because if I don't do well, my coach and his family gonna get fired,
but also you're kind of playing with house money. You have nothing to lose. At the end of the day,
I have everybody's job to lose.
But if your job is on the line, don't you think you're gonna be like, look, if we suck, I'm gonna get fired anyway, right? So I might as well pull out all the tricks. That's what I'm thinking. I think there's a way that, especially if you're as tricky as an offensive line as McDaniel, right? There might be more in the bag that we haven't seen, right? And so I think.
So you thinking this is a year they pull out all the war chests?
Yes, because if you think of the deficiencies at the cornerback position, specifically on the defense side of the ball, if you go to the offense, the line is a little bit of a question mark. We don't know that. That's going to be on my list the next week when we talk about reasons for failure. I'm going to say the offensive line falls apart because we don't know. It's a big unknown, right? And so to me, I think doubt is a powerful motivator, right? Great confidence is great too, right? But I think at some point, like you're getting paid millions of dollars. Like you're confident. You are there. You have people. These guys are confident. I know that.
Hold on, are they though? Is Cornerback confident? Is Tyreek Hill confident? Is Isaiah Johnson confident?
Tyreek Hill said that he's going to try to convince a guy that clearly wants nothing to do with this organization to come back. These guys are confident.
Tyreek is a little delusional. Come on, let's.
But what is confidence at its best? Confidence at its best is not delusion, right? And so I think this team has the confidence, right? Now I think when you have some people doubting you, when people don't think you're good, to me, that is a great motivator for an athlete. So those are my 5 things.
Okay.
You might disagree with me on that last one, but I think doubt can be sometimes an even more powerful motivator than being fully confident. Because I think these guys are confident. I think that there is a level of confidence in this room. I just think that the doubt from the outside, to me, is going to be a huge motivator.
But you're always going to have doubt from the outside as an NFL team. You're always going to have pressure that you're going to play with. I would rather have confidence. Like, I know I could do my job. I know I could get it done. I know I could pump out podcasts. I know I could write this column. When I have doubt, that's when things get a little bit, sketchy for me. So
I'm not saying the players themselves have doubt. I'm saying the external doubt. Because there's no way. Look, I know
you're talking about haters. You're talking about haters.
Let the haters be your motivators.
Yeah, no matter what, you're always gonna have haters in the NFL. I don't know if haters are motivators, but it's certainly an interesting point, and I would love the commenters to chime in on this. Do you believe that doubt can be fuel? I'm curious, because I don't like doubt. I really don't like doubt in any. When I have doubt and worry and concern, that's not me at my game. I need to be confident, but then to each his own. So on that note, we will see you back again if Jalen Ramsey is traded, or Tyreek convinces him that he's going to be a Dolphin for life, or next week when we do a basically wrap up of reasons why we think that the season in 2025 will be a struggle. On that note, Dolphins in depth, we are out.